Hello, spiritual beings. How are you doing today? So, I promised myself that I don't care if I'm having a bad day or not, that I'm still gonna come on here and talk. So, I finally saw my daughter, so that's good. But it was still not on good terms because she's mad that I end up throwing away her things. I had to because the spirit that's on her. Um, because I don't know if you guys remember in my early videos I said that she chose the route to be a sex worker, and so I feel like, listen, I don't have no embarrassment, so I just want to start saying that there because this channel is to help heal myself and also to, I thought I was done crying. Anyway, to help someone else that I know I'm not the only one that is going through this battle as far as mother daughter, because we have a lot of powers that be. We have so much persuasion on social media that affects children. They're very impressionable at certain ages. And when I met her friend, the first time that I knew that this young lady was in the nightlife, I didn't want to judge, and that's why I was saying that sometimes I feel like I'm too caring and I block my throat chakra because I don't say what's on my mind. So I'm trying to control my emotions, but I know I'm not the only mom in this America that's going through this. So I'll say it again. If you're new to this channel, I have a daughter that her father was murdered. And her father was also her abuser. And her father was also my abuser. So it's like a double conundrum because he abused me, and then I sent her to him, and he ended up abusing her like he abused me. But I didn't think he would do it because that's his daughter, right? And I'm trying to heal my best. I did go to therapy, but it's not for me. So I have to do this, fight through this for myself. Yeah, coming to YouTube, coming to the internet might not be the best option. Whatever. My life has been a lot of hardships. And so this is why I wanted to do the channel, to show that my beliefs and my faith has carried me through when I have the thoughts of the Most High. That's what pushes me through. That's what guides me. The people want to say I'm delusional. Excuse me. Sorry. And basically, I have guilt. So my guilt from sending her to her father and her coming back and having a lot of mental issues going forward, because she said he didn't do anything as far as like actually abusing her. So thank God for that. But physically, verbally, yes. So which caused mental things, and then bad decisions, were bad choices for the men that I ended up in a relationship with, ended up hurting her verbally or scaring her and things like that. So that gentleman had left that. I ended up fighting that guy. I ended up cursing him, and I ended up where he has a scar so he will remember, basically, because I lost my marbles. He had ended up hitting my daughter, stomped on my daughter. Yeah, this guy. That's why sometimes when I was talking about, like, when I was, my old self, because, that Diane, I put her to burial because she was so naive and gullible and always hopeful, believing in fairy tales. I let this guy come from Brooklyn to move with me to Vegas, and it was a nightmare. He beat my kid. Um, it's a lot of stuff, but that's another story time. I have so many stories, guys, so I just have to really organize it, and I have a lot of dreams. But, ooh, confirmation. What was that? I just burned my shirt and everything. God darn it. Ooh, somebody don't want me to tell my truth. Woo! Ooh. My God. Ooh, wee. I'm still on fire. Hold on. Okay. I extinguished the fire. But anyhow, I wanted to come here because I've been procrastinating. I've been waiting for like things in the mail to come. I finally got my crystals. And, because I really like to be professional. And I know there's no time for perfection. I really wanted to have the aesthetic of my spiritual things, on the wall. But I'm moving. I'm currently looking to move. So, I already explained my situation with the disrespect of the landlord with the plumbing, and I was saying I have fecal matter in my backyard and things like that. And it's pretty bad anyhow. So I was praying and hoping, and God always, He's always on time. I feel like sometimes I'm God's favorite. I always be like I'm God's champion or I'm His warrior because I always end up doing these things on my own. Everything I do on my own. There's nobody here. I don't have a partner. I don't have nobody in my life. I don't have a support system. I don't have community. All I have is YouTube, social media, and that's it. So I came on here basically looking for interaction, but then I also see that my aura is not to be liked, which is fine. So I don't, and I think sometimes I rather attract like-minded people or people that would want to hear me speak or is interested in my stories or not here to make a mockery of me or to make themselves feel better like, aha, I knew she wasn't going to end up being shit. I knew her life wasn't going to end up being shit. So I made the video because today I was like, I've been sitting here in my sorrow and I always talking to God, right? As if I'm not talking to my daughters, they be like on my mind. I don't want to just always trauma dump on my kids. But this is my only sanity and happiness. So I don't want it to be like I'm making myself a skeptical and I'm on here trying to cry or look for sympathy because that's not my stilo. That's not who I am as a person. I don't look for sympathy. I got this. I got this. I got it. I'm pulling it together. So she came. Okay. Oh, God. So she came, she knocked in the door like the police. And I said in my videos before that I'm always embarrassed because this has been going on for 5 years. So, like, everywhere I live, there's always police. There's always bad aura. So people would be like, oh, do you pray? Insulting me. And I know where it's coming from because people be like, oh, you open up the door for spiritual attacks. No, this has been happening to me for a long time. So I'm going to start with the story before I go into when she was knocking on the door. How I know that I have people sending bad things to me. So I the first time it was an Indian guy. I think he was a. I'm not sure if he was a palm reader or a psychic or whatever, but I was working at a tax office, and I remember, I don't know if this lady, because she was wicked too. So I know she likes well, there's this thing like where voodoo, and they call it obia. So like Caribbean people and like Guyanese people from where my parents are from, they call it obia. And I know she went to those kind of people because she told me she paid money to do things or whatever. And I'm like, girl, why you doing that? She was like, I do it to protect or whatever. I don't know. I was very naive and ignorant to that world. So a lot of things happened to me where people used to touch my hair a lot, and I didn't know about those things where people touch your hair. So I didn't know about people touching your hair and doing stuff. So anyhow, he said to me, so I don't know, I'm hoping somebody that's spiritual. So I see that the spiritual journey is taking me through. So I'm trying not to cry, guys, but I guess I'm still healing. And I thought I was good. I thought, because I'm very strong. But, seeing her did put me in it put me in a very weird mood. So I got extremely emotional. So, but anyhow, let me continue because I'll be all over the place. And so I didn't know when people touch your hair, cut your hair, do stuff. But the man told me somebody buried my hair with the dead. I don't know what that means. So if you could please come in my comments because I'm trying to break this shit. And me and my oldest, we did our own spiritual bath. I purchased the items. I don't have money to go to anybody. But I know something is wrong in my spirit. The dreams. I had a dream of a lady with a red eye and a blue eye. And then I keep getting dreams of this big, tall man. And he keeps stretching his long arms out to me. He's very dark, very tall, weird looking. I get dreams of alien people. I had a dream of, I have so much dreams. So anyway, I'm going off the topic because I was talking about that the Indian man told me to open my mouth. I opened my mouth. I don't know why. I opened my mouth. He was like, something not good. Then he said, your hair was cut. And I don't know if the girl that was my friend at the time, if she did something to me or I don't know. Right? But anyway, after that, I started losing my hair in different places of my head. And then it was right on my cerebral. And then it was like, it looked like it was an eyeball. I'm not even exaggerating. And it was right under my brain stem. So if you know how, what they call it, the medulla oblongata or something, I don't know. But by the brain stem, the hair started to leave from there, and I started to get like a lot of pain. Excuse me, because I had this thing, because I'm going to talk about something else that I felt very passionate about, but this is going to be a long one. So basically, another person told me. So anyway, like I said, I started losing my hair on my brain stem, and it started to look like a third eye. No joke. It started to open up like the shape of the third eye, and then it expanded, and then it started to go around my head like a like a like kind of like a horse shoe, like a horseshoe from, yeah. So mind you, I don't know what the man is talking about. I'm thinking he's crazy. I'm like, yo, whatever. So I'm at this point just trying to um evaluate what this man's talking about. But anyway, he gave me two stones. It was looking like a coral kind of stone, orange prickly kind of stone, and then he gave me a orangey red stone. No, more like a kind of like, okay, so I'm gonna show you because I'll show you, like, okay, so this blue stone was, he gave me like a stone like this, but it was a coral, like orangey color. And then he gave me something shaped like this, but it was prickly with little holes in it, like a, like kind of like a, I don't, not like a pine cone, but like, I can't even explain. Anyway, he gave me those stones. I kept those stones for years, thinking that it was some kind of protection. I couldn't tell you if it was or not. I'm not sure because, like I said, I wasn't practicing. I didn't know. And like I said, I've been confused about spirituality, religion, and stuff because, like I said, my grandma would church hop, and like I said, she would dance. I seen her dressed in white, and she'd tie her hair up, and she would dance, and they'd chant, and he'd play drums. So I know that was kind of some kind of spiritual dance, and probably giving homage to the ancestors, because she was a medicine woman and a herbalist, right? She did a lot of things. People would come to her, like if they had an obsess or whatever. She's also a registered nurse, so she had a lot of knowledge as far as health and boiling things, and like I know how to make coconut oil from scratch. Like I learned a lot of stuff from my grandma that I utilize today. Very a very resourceful woman. God rest her soul. Um, and when I left New York, because I moved around a lot. I don't want to call myself a nomad or like a gypsy, but I moved around a lot because I always was looking for um, more bang for my buck, right? Because it's hard trying to find housing in New York, and it's sky high. I don't know if anybody knows, but it's sky high for rent. Like they want you to double up in apartments and stuff, and people, always transitioning. So homeless is like a big thing. I mean, it's everywhere. It's global, but like I'll speak from my experience living in New York. It was like a big problem, and like I said, that's what I transitioned from. I've been homeless many, many years of my life. So, moving forward, when I moved, I left New York after that situation because I started feeling really weird, and I started feeling the attacks more heavy um, on the center of my head. It's just weird stuff. And then I also had a dream where, like, I felt something pulling me through different dimensions. I was so scared, but I just felt something like, shh, right? And I was living in Ohio, and I went out there, to the American dream, the family, and all this stuff, right? Anyhow, I see another lady. Not well. I want to say another lady because it was a man, and he had the turban and all that. So I could tell like he was into spiritual things or whatever. But I don't know if I don't know if the lady that I was so associated with that worked at the tax office, if she sent the guy to me. I don't know. But When I moved to Ohio, I remember it was a Russian lady, and this lady, I don't know if y'all remember the movie Polka Dice, but there was this movie where the little tiny lady was trying to help exorcise the demon out the baby, or she came to tell them about what was going on with the energy in their house. Anyway, she reminded me of that lady. She was just that the short, tiny lady, and she said, "Somebody cut your hair and bury you with the dead." I'm like, "That's random." I'm like, "Yo." She was like, would you like me to read you?" I said, "No." So I never believed in it. You know what I mean? I'm not going to lie. I was a skeptic. I never liked tarot or none of that stuff. I would see the hand with the eye in it and pass by, and then ladies would always hand me something. So people seen something. So I realized that something was not right. So I realized something wasn't right because I'm like, this is the second time I'm hearing this story. Somebody buried my hair with the dead. So I remember when I was little, my mom sent me to my dad's house. And I remember my stepmother, she cut my hair. My mom was pissed. She, because my hair was beautiful. I have, like, my hair is gorgeous. I have beautiful hair where people will ask me if it's a weave, and they would say, your hair is so thick, you know. So I guess that's why they would put their hand in my hair, because they didn't believe it was my hair. And I always used to play around because I have a lot of skin on my head, so I used to be like, yeah, it's a wig, you know, playing around. And sorry guys. And I remember she put some shampoo in my hair, and then she was just combing my hair, and there's clumps coming out. And my mom wanted to fight her because my mom was like, yo, what did you do to my daughter's hair? Her hair is falling out. What did you use? And she said she used Johnson and Johnson's shampoo. And my mom said, no, you don't use that. Don't use that on her hair. So anyway, my hair fell out. And I never really liked going at my dad's house. I never did. I hate my older sister because she always said I was her half sister. I don't like my brother because they always made fun of me. We have fights, bad fights. I remember one time I almost stabbed him. But his mom will always put me in a corner, wring my ears. I remember one time she gave my dad gave her money for school shopping. And this was a diss back in the day because, you know, like when they used to call, there was a song called Rejects. They cost $1.99. Rejects. They make your mama save a dime. And I got a memory like an elephant. I suppress certain things because they hurt so fucking bad. Anyway, so, you know, she took her kids to Macy's, J.C. Penney, Buster Brown. Back in the day, we had this store called Vim, and Vim was like they had Dr. J's. It was like Foot Locker basically, but it was like real big, and they had sneakers. You could get outfits, fitted caps, all that, right? And she took me to Bobby's and told my dad that I wanted Skippies. Skippies was like those little string tied shoes, like karate shoes. They had the one with the bamboo bottom that kind of looked like the shoes Bruce Lee used to wear in them karate movies. And then they had the white rubber bottom. So she bought those for me, like 2 of them. And she told my dad that's what I wanted. And she gave my brother and sister, they had Nikes. And I remember so much, yo. And I don't, I'm not trying to throw hate on nobody, but basically I'm talking my truth. I don't really care, and I'm not gonna shut up. I'm not gonna be silenced because I am almost 50 years old and I'm still trying to heal my inner child. And I make a lot of mistakes with my daughters. And I try to take accountability. And yeah, this is not the place to come, but I need to find out how I can get this shit off of my back. So I try to channel so much of the Lord, of God, Jesus, everything that is light, so I can find peace. And it's very hard because all I do is cry. But I do know when I cry in situations like relationships, I know the man is not for me. And they be thinking I'm crying because I feel for them or something. But if I cry, it's a warning. And my body is telling me that this man is going to hurt you bad, girl. Run, run, run. I get dreams. God always gives me dreams. Every time I get a warning, he shows their face. He shows me their face. He shows me what they're about. And this last gentleman was a Damon. I dodged a bullet. Oh my God. Anyway, so when I got that message, I don't know how to take it, but let me tell you, I've been in 3 car wrecks right after that lady told me. I got hit in the back. And mind you, I was parked. I got hit in the back, and I ran the scene. I should have stayed because I probably would have got paid. I remember driving down the highway. I made a turn and it was a little icy. I was supposed to change my tires, but I didn't really know much about cars. So, but there's icy roads. You're supposed to make sure that you get your tires rotated and get a wheel alignment and stuff like that if you have an old car, to make sure that you're good to deal with the icy weather and stuff like that. Because, once the grooves are gone from the tire, you could slip or whatever. But anyway, I did a 360 into the intersection where the cars was coming forward when I should have been on the other side. There was nobody on the road. I could have got hit or caused a pile up, anything. But God was, I just keep feeling like there's somebody protecting me from these near-death experiences. I can't explain it, right? But anyway, getting back to where I started the video, and I was talking about, I finally saw her. I could see that my baby she's not well. She still has an odor. She's still smoking heavily. I could tell that other things has happened. She lost a lot of weight. She looks way different than I see my baby. I think even when I sent my baby to New York, because she was like 10, 11 years old when I let her go with her dad, I think that's the last time I saw my baby. Because when she came back, she was not the same. So the last time I saw my baby, it was going to be her 11th birthday. And that was my baby. But the person now is not my baby. It's a spirit that took over my baby. People like to dismiss the spiritual things that happen, the unseen and the unknown. But I know something is on my baby. I wanted to embrace her so bad, but it was the disruption. It was like a rude awakening because she came and she was like, bah, 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 bah. So I was like, oh shit, is it the marshals? I said, oh my God, the constable came to put us out the house. Because I don't know, the stories I was saying, I had got notice that I was supposed to leave. And it's a miracle that we're still here because I haven't found another place to live. So, my God. Anyway, I'm so sorry, guys, for these tears. So, she came knocking, and her sister came and she said, "Mom, it's my daughter. She's smoking and she's banging on the door." So I said, "Oh, let her in." I wanted to embrace my baby, but because I know now about the spiritual world and attachments, I didn't want to hold her because I know she's out there soliciting. And then she said a trucker man brought her here. So I remember telling you guys, remember I said this the caseworker told me that she was in Maricopa County and then she was caught with someone that was ex trafficking. And the guy went to jail. So she said she didn't. They just held her. I don't know what's going on, but it seemed like she ran away again. So this is about the third time she ran away. So I couldn't keep her here because I can't keep her trapped. Because like I said, she would jump out the window or come back in the window, or she would wait till I'm in the restroom showering or if I'm attending to my grandchildren. She's very sneaky, so I cannot. And I don't deal with dudes, so she always have people coming to my address or meeting them up the block. But anyway, as people are neighbors, they see these things, and so a lot of the disrespect. So today again, the police was at my house, and I had to watch her walk with the officers. So it's like I've been in this loop for 5 years, and she's always destroying the home, and she's like, is a nonchalant. She's stealing. Um, she's stealing from her sister. She stabbed her sister. You tell me, what should I do? What would you do? So I came on here to interact. I don't care if I'm made fun of. I don't care if people watch my videos and make fun of me or say, aha, I knew that was going to happen. There's always something on me. Oh, she a liar, she a storyteller, whatever. Strange people always judging me. I go places, people always looking into me. So anyway. So anyway. Oh, 333. Anyway, I don't know what to do. So I was telling her that I'm glad that she's alive and it's not no bad situation. I'm happy to see her, but I didn't sit next to her. I came in the other room and she was in the living room. And then she said, "Oh, Mom, I can't believe you're doing my stuff." Those things had bad omens. I could feel it. And not to talk about her business, but there was a cup of urine, and we have restrooms. Why are you keeping a cup of urine? So it was like something I told her. I remember before I even got the knowledge, because now I'm starting to watch videos and listen to people's testimonies and try to decipher what's going on. Because when you tell therapists that you've been spiritually attacked, they dismiss you and they say that it's in your mind and there's nothing like that, and all these things, when I know it is because I've seen things. So I'm not gonna let people tell me that I'm going crazy. Anyway, I'm getting, this is leaving. I've been crying so much. I keep rubbing my face. I gave myself a dark mark. Anyway, moving on, moving on, moving on. So I gotta get it out, and I've been trying to hold it in so bad because I know there's this negative connotation of crying and not looking like you got it together. But I don't know what's the problem with people dismissing emotions. It's like they just want you to be this cold freaking stone, and you're not supposed to eat what you crying for. Da, da, da. I'm so tired of people dismissing my emotions and how I am as a person, and this is why I'm in the crib and not wanting to deal with people. I just wish I could meet people that's like-minded as I am. So I came on YouTube to see if I can gain that type of following, to see if there's people that could connect with me. But I see that's also, I have a lot of negative, and I just got eyeballs that's looking and searching to make a mockery of my story and my testimony and my spiritual journey. But anyway, I didn't know how to embrace her because I said, what am I gonna do? But I knew that the items in her room, I knew that the outfits she was buying, and even the money that she says that she earned. Oh, I bought it with my own money. But you bought it with money from selling yourself. It wasn't like I hear men say stuff like, excuse me, if a woman's selling herself, I like those kind of women because at least she's selling it, and I rather when she honest, I'll just buy it or whatever. I don't know what culture or what where we're headed with the promiscuity. I don't know where we going with this whoremonger kind of culture. Is dirty, is stink, is nasty. If that's what you like, fine. I'm not here to judge you. I'm not here to condemn nobody. But I know for myself, being with randos is not cool. I don't even, it takes me a while to kind of get to be like that. If I really like you, I did things with, certain gentlemen because I really liked them. I was trying to impress them. So I might have did something where maybe men would probably be like, oh, she a slut, she get around or whatever. Because they like to say if you know how to be intimate, or that you know what you're doing. You've been doing this for a long time. So anyway, I diverted. But I told her the simple fact that the landlord been sending the maintenance man, I'm pretty sure he's been noticing that certain things didn't look up to par. But it's not like there's damage in the house. It was just the simple fact that her Cheech and Chongin, you could see that there's things going on in the home, and the smells, because she always wants to get that kind of skunky weed that's smelling up the place, that smells sprayed. Because I kept telling her, smell tainted. Don't smell like natural marijuana or, that dispensary nastiness. But I know they spray weed. But I think also it might have been lace. So not putting her business out there. And I know she hates me already. She has a lot of animosity. But this is for my healing. There was fentanyl in her system. She's done Molly. A lot of drugs. I can't have that in my home. If I'm practicing light work, I'm healing. I have insight. I see things. I get dreams. I get premonitions. I can't have a child in my home destroying herself, and I'm in the other corner trying to be with the Lord. You can't serve two masters. It doesn't make sense. So that's another thing I wanted to clear up because I watch a lot of my videos. So when I say light and dark and be careful of the path you choose, I'm not with the underworld. I'm not trying to deal with anything dark. I ain't drinking no blood. I ain't eating no flesh. I'm not being promiscuous. I'm not doing anything. I took the sacrifice of not being with anyone because that's how close I'm trying to get to God. I'm trying to hear my grandma's voice. For her to give me some kind of guidance. I do not trust my mother, my father, because I can't even go there. Because I have respect for them, but there's stories that really showed me that these people, I probably came here to be destroyed. I don't know what my mission was at first, but I started knowing that because I like communion, I like the whole thought of being close to God. And so I would do anything to be close to God. So I sacrificed because I said, at this point, I might as well become a monk or a nun. And that's just an example. I'm not saying that's what I'm going to do because that is also religion. But I dedicated and I cut off being intimate. I cut that off. I don't even care about it. I don't even know if I would know how to even be with a man in an intimate way. I think I'm probably gonna be so awkward if I do get in a relationship. So I would need somebody that would be aligned and that loves the light and to be a godly person, because I cannot be with anybody that I was with in the past. And if I see that, I'm running like Shikari. I'm out of there quick. But anyway, I didn't know how to embrace her because I felt like it's not my kid. I don't want to hug her. I already know she's not going to want to. And I just didn't want nothing on my spirit, honestly. So we end up arguing because she's mad that I threw away the things. But I know it had energy, bad energy, because every time I passed her room, every time I went in the room, is this weird feelings. And I also felt darkness in the house when she was there. Like I always had to just keep on. And it was this stench. It's very putrid, rank, stinking ass smell. It is disgusting. Okay? And I cannot live like that. And yeah, sometimes when we're teenagers, we're a little messy and stuff. And I remember my mom complaining, but I used to clean up for my mom. I love her, but she's a hoarder. So I don't like a lot of clutter and stuff like that. But I realized that sometimes I did have a little habits of making a little pile here and there. But I always end up getting to my point where I started cleaning. I remember being in relationships and just like, oh, you a little messy, you a little dirty. It's not dirty, but it's not organized. And it's like, listen, I'm to the point where I don't want nobody in my space because I don't need you to tell me what's going on. I know I'm all over the place. I know I'm not a nasty person. I've seen nasty. And that's what my daughter was doing. Pure nastiness. And it was like food fermenting, spoiled. It looked like science projects. It looked like I was growing fungus in a laboratory. That's how her room looked. Like it looked like it was gonna. If I had just continued letting her be what she wanted to be, it probably would have started growing different microorganisms on the wall. Like no lie. So, and that's not to shame, because I'm pretty sure there's, mental things that was happening where she didn't want to clean or didn't, but I couldn't have it. It was just making me go cuckoo. And so when I was telling her that we had got the notice that we have to leave and I don't have a place for her to go, so even if she came back, but even so, if you did come back, you will have to get a job and you will have to finish your schooling. You can't come back in here wanting to smoke and Cheech and Chong all day and then go out at night and then come back 2 and 3 days after you had your little fun, party time, and then you come back, you know, um, under the influence and all these things. So I just got to the point where the stress. So as soon as she came, I felt like I was gonna throw up. That was number one. So that was a warning sign. Like I said, it was a rude awakening because I was laying down, I was still asleep, and then I heard the banging. So that made me feel like I thought it was a marshal or something. Then it was like the third part was her thinking everything was cool and hunky dory, like you was coming back to your room, like everything was supposed to be normal, and I was gonna be the dumb mommy and not say anything and just accept you back in my life, and then everything was gonna go right back. Then she came back, still smoking in my house, still with the clouds, and then she still has that same odor. So I can't rekindle, or I couldn't even form the words. I don't know if it's because I just woke up and I was shocked to see her or what, but it's like she needs a spiritual bath. She needs to find herself again. I can't help it because all I feel is a lot of guilt that I feel I did it. I know she has hella animosity towards me, but I just know that she can't come back in the house with that same whoremonger spirit. I'm not living that way, and I can't have a 17-year-old that I gave birth to and accepting her lifestyle. And then she's vulgar, she's commonplace, she's lawless. She wants to tell me what she's doing. And mom, I'm being honest. No, I can't. So, if anybody wants to be kind and tell me in the comments, people probably are like, I see other personal stories. I see people share more worse intimate stories than what I'm expressing. I don't know, maybe if it's people feel that it's disgusting because it's I'm talking about my daughter and I'm disclosing it, but listen, I can't have shame when I'm going through this spiritual journey. It's not about shame. I'm not being fake. I cannot be fake. What's the point of me reaching out to other spiritual people if I can't share my testimony or share a story time and tell you how I keep myself above water with the faith and staying close to God, and with the things that help me with different images, and with the goddess theory, and wanting to be higher and things like that. I can't believe I burned my shirt. I'm so mad because I like this shirt, but it's a wrap now. But anyway, guys, I just spiritual beings. I don't really like saying guys because it's such a Western term. But anyway, I started getting because I'm getting my cards. I just got the mystical moon oracle card. I don't really have money to get the good stuff, but I did get, good messages. So these messages are not, it's not tarot. Because I'm still learning that. I'm still reading the energy book. So I can know, like, the terms of the pentacles and the swords and all that stuff. I still got to get that down packed. But anyhow, also too, because I'm going to try to wrap it up. So it's already to an hour. I wanted to talk about, because I'm a fan, right? And I just burned. I'm so mad because I wanted to. I had this for years, right? And I wanted to talk about how I feel like, because, since this is spirituality, I feel like, oops, sorry guys, I dropped something. I feel like when people die, yeah, we're supposed to celebrate their memories, especially when they're your family members. And also, so I wanted to correct, love your family, especially if they love you back. Because I don't want it to be where I'm like, oh, love your family. It wasn't like, oh, love your family regardless. Love your family if you have a loving family, and cherish that, because that's very beautiful. I did want to just say that. It's very nice to have a beautiful family with unconditional love, and knowing that you're growing and you guys gonna make mistakes and things are gonna happen and you're gonna bicker and you're gonna have verbal disputes and disagreements. So I just wanted to clarify that. Okay, and so what I was gonna talk about with Michael Jackson, God bless the dead, and always lift him high in a high regard. I love Michael. Michael had helped me with my childhood. Um, and I appreciate him to the fullest. Like, Michael, his songs still heal me to this day. There's some songs I could listen to and I just, oh my God, just make me feel so good in my heart, And I know that's global, that's worldwide. But what I don't like with the industry, the entertainment industry, is that these people have left the physical realm. And like I said, it's nice to celebrate, and it's nice to celebrate the ones that are not here anymore. So I'm not gonna take that from anybody and say that, oh, they shouldn't have made this biopic. But what is disgusting to me is that he's still being exploited and he's no longer here. It was bad enough when he was here, how they took him through the mud and they said a lot of weird things about Michael. And, we don't know, but we're on the outside looking in. But when I say I know spirits and energy, and I just feel like that was not that man. And he'd been through a lot. He's seen a lot, and for him to still sing those songs and write those songs. And I know when people seen him, when you, like, he knew that he had this thing of raising his vibration. And I want to use my own words, so I'm sorry if I sound chopped and screwed with my run-on sentences. But I just feel like he loved animals more than people, because people were pick him apart and dissect him right in front of his face. And then also, they didn't have no regard. It was more like a selfishness, because they just wanted to absorb him than to actually give him his space and respect him as a human being. They just wanted to just, oh my God, Michael. It's like, it's different when you're having a conversation with somebody that you respect, and it's different when people obsess over you. And that was a lot of his fans. They were obsessing over him. And then the fact that he was handsome and all of that, and very talented and gifted. And, Michael is a magnet. He did have a lot of magnetism about him. Also being a Leo, that lion, that big ferocious. He had, I believe he's a Leo. Yeah, I think. But I mean, I'm not really into zodiacs. I think he is, if I'm not mistaken. But anyhow, my point is, making money off these people that are dead. Don't you find something wrong with that? Like, it's kind of demonic to me. I want to go so far to say demonic, but it is something wrong with people still making money off of people that are no longer here in the physical realm. Just gives me a negative connotation, because is the money going to his children? Is it going to a charity? Is this money going to Catherine Jackson, his mom? Like, all this money is being made. And yeah, I'm not saying that his nephew is talented and gifted. And, I commend him. Wow, it was amazing. But at the same token, at what cost? Because I'm pretty sure his children, or like I see Janet Jackson, his sister, she didn't want to be a part of it. It's spiritual. Is something not right with the whole bringing him back up? And we have 5 different movies on Michael. Now we have a lot of people eating off of Michael just for the simple fact of this movie. And I just feel like it doesn't feel right to me. I don't know. I don't feel like it's a celebration. I just feel like it's greed. So I don't know if anybody in the comment probably feel, here I go with my hot flashes and things. And it makes it no better, because then this is when I start bumping up and stressing out and my face start looking weird or whatever. And I'm now getting rid of that piercing pimple. Anyway, gonna try to end it and with a good note. But I needed to talk about that because I started with that, and I just wanted to see if maybe somebody can relate to me. I try to go on TikTok, and I guess I don't know how to speak well. I guess I don't know, people just not receiving me. But I know I've seen stories. I just don't know where to go, so I can get with the girlies, the moms, or I try to do like group things online. But these people act like when I talk, I'm saying something wrong. Like they're making it seem like I should have just let her go. Like, why you even care? F the kids. I'm not gonna completely be like that. I can't. I don't. That's not my spirit. I just didn't want her to become a statistic. She's a black girl in America. We have already a strike against us because of our skin. So we're always under the microscope. We're always, we're always looked into. And I just didn't want her to go this route, because this is what they always say, that we're sexual and we're promiscuous by nature. And, it was always some negative connotation to black women and her body image. And I was sexualized because I have, a bottom. And they would be like, oh, you have all that butt and this, that, whatever. And they would tell my mom, you better watch out for that one. She got boobs and she got this. And, the sexualization of children is very bad. So I brought up Michael because I just was saying to myself, like, this is exploitation all over again. And then now it's like another set of judgment. They're opening another can of worms again, and now people are gonna try to dissect him even more about this pedophilia accusation. And it don't feel right. I feel like he needs to rest. I don't know if because it doesn't feel celebratory. It feels like he's going through another crucifixion. And then we have people saying, wacko jacko again, and making comments that he was weird, and it's like he's being judged and he's not here. Like, this is weird. And I don't even want to say weird. It's wickedness. It's evil. And then it's a distraction because everybody is posting Michael when he was young to when he did the plastic surgery. It's like it's doing a disservice really to his spirit. I don't feel that I don't know. That's just my opinion. I just feel like every minute they're bringing him back up. And we should celebrate him, but not continuously keep on making more movies and more people eating off of his name. He's not here to partake and get the movie. I don't know. Like, it just feels so weird. And I'm glad his sister didn't join the bandwagon. I feel like Janet, no, there's something weird about keep on doing these pics and bio stuff and bringing them up in documentaries. I feel like she wants her brother to rest as well. Like, it just feel weird. It don't feel good. I don't know why people think I don't know. And then everybody just talk. It's like, and the teeth and tongue, like they say, words are spells, and be careful what you say and what you think. And I just feel like Michael's probably just in the in-between at this point. I don't know if I hope he has ascended, and then also too, people saying that he's not because he did what he did, and there's always, I don't know, but I love Michael for the things that I feel when I hear his songs, and that's how I relate to him. And I know his spirit feels very gentle. I didn't feel anything negative or dark about Michael. When he climbed trees, I climbed trees. I mean, I don't know what the whole thing with people making fun of him. Nobody never climbed a tree. Like, I mean, nobody never wanted a pet monkey. Nobody never, come on now. I just feel like it's just not nice, So anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and end it with a nice quote. I haven't done my goddess quotes. I'm gonna get back to when I feel good in my spirit. I know people say, whenever you feel good in your spirit or whatever, but I just don't. So I'm gonna go ahead and pick a card. And I said these are spiritual affirmations, so I don't have tarot. I'm still learning about tarot. But these are my 2 cards I picked today. So the first one is that a blessing from the universe. The universe is preparing you. The universe is preparing for you an abundance of blessings beyond your imagination. So I picked this one out from the bottom of the deck, and so this is also a mystical what is it? Mysterious Magic Forest cards, and it's an oracle card. So I'm gonna be doing these with messages since I don't know how to read cards yet. But I like the fact that they have messages, so I just want to always leave with a positive message for you spiritual beings that's on my channel that like me genuinely. And then also I have my other spiritual, because that's an oracle cards, but this is positive affirmation spiritual cards. And so this one is going to be today I will enjoy the small moments. So that's me, because when I started a lot of my other channels, like when I started the AI and I was doing my I started with mental health, and then like I said, there was supposed to be a mother-daughter podcast, and it didn't end up to be that way. But I started with the AI because I was really still just had so much creative things in my head that I just wanted to put out there, and because I was like kind of scared to speak And because I was like stuttering and all that stuff, and I was like, you gotta push it out and you gotta just ignore it. But like I said, I've been going through this back and forth for 8 years. I would come out, make a page, and delete the account, back and forth, back and forth. So now I'm finally, excuse me, because my lips is always dry. I'm always licking it. And I drink water, guys. I don't know. I just feel like something is draining me, dehydrating me. And I just knew that I didn't want her. She couldn't be here. Also, I have another daughter moving back home. And she knows the situation or what have you. And so my grandson is coming back to safety. So that's what matters. And so I couldn't have the two of them in the same house because she's moving back and she stabbed her sister. And her sister has an ugly scar that she's going to live with for the rest of her life. And everybody thinks it was provoked. But the fight started because she was stealing her sister's clothes, wearing her sister's clothes, and her sisters are older than her, so she shouldn't even be in those clothes. But she was stealing stuff like lace bras and wanting to wear their intimate apparel. First of all, that's not even hygienic. You're not supposed to share nobody's underwear. And so, anyhow, those kind of behaviors, it's just not, it's low vibrational, man. And yes, it's my daughter, but I'm not about to deal with no disrespect. I'm not going to deal with the insults. I already explained to you guys, like my video yesterday was about me running away from toxic family. So if I'm going to deal with that aspect and then be a hypocrite or what's the word? Contradicting myself and have her living here with me. I stop my vices. I'm not smoking. I'm not soliciting. I'm not doing those things. I'm in my own world. I'm celibate. I'm not even outside to even get the male gaze. And when I go outside, I'm so unattractive that they don't want to look at me anyways. Because I make sure I got on a granny. Not to say nothing wrong with grannies. I love you guys. I'm not saying anything about the older dolls, the older beautiful women. I'm just saying I dress to the point where you're not going to holler at me at all. Because I'm going to make sure. So I'm not trying to look anyway. So a lot of the times I even hate when I post a picture and somebody's like, hey, baby, or something. I'm like, yo, get off of here. Get out my face, man. Ain't nobody got time for that. I'm outside. I don't even smile. You know what I mean? Because I don't want nobody in my business. I just don't want nobody in my space with that kind of vibes. Like, get that out of here. Cause I don't want nobody STD. I don't want nobody. I just don't want it. I don't want none of that. You know what I mean? And I'm not saying that every man is dirty or whatever the case might be. I just know that that's not for me right now. I'm not trying to go that route. I don't care for it. But I'm gonna go ahead and end it. And I thank you so much again for I have 140 now because I had a 139. Now I have 140. So thank you for the new subscriber. Thank you guys. I know a spirituality doesn't have a look. I don't know how to be. I'm still learning, so I know over time. But I'm just so happy that I got my crystals. Yay! And I feel good when I do these things. I have some incense cones. I love lilac blossom is such a beautiful smell. And then I got this candle, oak and lavender. Oh my god. And then vanilla and almonds. But my favorite smell is frankincense and myrrh. I love frankincense and myrrh. And I do also like I love sage, so I'm always burning sage. And then my grandson's name is Sage. I even burn bay leaves because they say bay leaves is good to attract money. So I even do that as well. But yes, thank you guys. I feel better in my spirit. I still have a lot of things going on here with my crown chakra. Sometimes I feel euphoria. I sometimes I feel pain. Sometimes I feel relief. But I don't know. I'm gonna go and get another evaluation just to check again, even though I know nothing is because like I said, I went to these places. I tried to commit myself and I got discharged with less than 24 hours. So I just know that I know I haven't been diagnosed with any mental illness, which people probably on the outside would beg to differ because I'm crying and I'm emotional and I'm sensitive. And then I was screaming on the top of my lungs when that guy disrespected me, asking me if I'm schizophrenic. And when that other gentleman threatened me to put me in an ambulance or online because I'm talking about my own business. And he wanted to argue with me, talking about I drank Kool-Aid and it's in my mind. Like, yo. So I had to channel that. I have to know how to ignore too because it is the internet and people are gonna make funky comments. So I just have to know to bear my chafe and just take it all in stride and still keep going and keep pushing forward because I know there's a bigger picture and this is what I'm striving for, um, you know, and I'm advocating to be motivational because I didn't go that route. I didn't go to smoke crack. I didn't go to pop pills. I didn't go to take fentanyl. I didn't go to do Molly. I chose to pray. I chose to be in my solitude. I chose to sacrifice um, intimacy. I chose to because I just wanted to get to that point where I can purify, cleanse my spirit and get rid of all that poor mindset, that low vibrational mindset. So when I say Diane had two deaths, when because I was a karmic and I was what's what's the word I'm looking for? Because I wasn't promiscuous. I had relationships, long term relationships, or I've been in relationships where the man is always end up beating me or something like that, or there's always a fight or there's something. So I've never really had good examples of relationships. I did had one like when I was in high school, and it was this Haitian guy, um, but I ended up messing that up because that's a long story, but that was like the best man I ever had. Never really remembered anybody else that was worth to talk about, but I remember him because he really showed me life. He treated me like a princess, and then I messed up because I ended up liking his friend, and that's another story I'll talk about. But anyway, I was a karmic type chick. I was very angry. I was that girl that was like, "Oh, you better give me money." I remember a guy gave me money for school, and I did not finish the school. And I used to think that was my bad karma, why I wasn't gonna find love again because that guy really liked me, and I took his money to go to school, and I did not finish school, and he was very upset with me. And then I had people that wanted, did good things for me, and I didn't recognize real, you know what I mean? So after the fact, because my mind wasn't there, you know? But anyway, you live and you learn, and you learn from your past. So that's all I wanted to say with that. But I'm gonna go ahead and end this video and go ahead and try to refresh my spirit one more time. And because just that whole scene got me a bit disheveled with the police, and then she's like, "Oh, I'm on a ward of state," and then she looked at me. She was watching me up and down, like, "Yo, listen, And then when I told her that we don't have really no place to stay, that we're looking for a house, she definitely didn't want to stay there. And she was like, I'm gonna go back to Chow Haven and whatever. Then she was like, "Oh, you hurt me because you're gonna tell me I can't never see my nephews again." I said to myself, "Girl, you didn't even want to watch your nephews. Yo, this girl is something else because she's telling people that how all she's keeping having to make bottles and all this kind of stuff, and she's being used, and she always got to go to the store, and she always got to watch the kids. Let me tell you something. This little girl can, it's very manipulative, but they believed her because the black woman in their eyes, we don't know how to raise children. CPS always in our lives. And so you could just imagine what they thought. I'm the one who probably was pimping her out. According to them, why did she run away from home? I'm asking her for drugs and all the disrespect. Let me tell you, I'm going through a lot, and that's why I'm recording it. Because let me tell you, it's going to be evidence for something. These people was trying to put me under the jail. You hear me? Especially when they arrested me and that lady treated me like a piece of dirt. You know what I'm saying? And she was looking into me. Why would you come here from New York like I'm some vigilante? Let me tell you, God bless that officer. You know what I'm saying? Because you never know where you're going to be in life, ma'am. And what you did to me was wrong. And they left me in the system and kept apologizing, talking about you supposed to only be here for 12 hours. And I stayed in there for almost 30 days, and I had to go stay with a co-worker. I didn't even know this man, but he let me stay with him. And that was another story. Let me tell you something. I've been through enough to come on here and express that I chose the light, and God always brought me out of situations where I didn't know, and all I did was call on him. I even have like I said, I want to write a book about my experiences in when I got arrested. I was in a jail with fecal matter and urine. I couldn't even sit down because there was fecal matter everywhere. Like literally, I'm staring at it on the wall, on the floor. I didn't even want to drink nothing because I didn't want to have to go pee. You understand? They had me in there sniffing up this stink, dirty cell, yo. Like, I'm traumatized from that experience. And then I have people looking into my record. I had her probation officers looking me up, talking about you didn't have stability. Let me tell you, I've been through a lot of biases. I've been through a lot of disrespect. But I know also somebody put something on me. And I bought the things I did. I felt good, and then I came online and I started feeling the spirits again, the bad. I felt it. The energy was so bad. I'm like, what did I do? And I said, whoever it is, come forward. If you feel like I did any injustice to you, but let me tell you, the injustice that I experienced from people and females that I've met, and I ain't never did you nothing. So if you feeling a way about me when I'm posting or whatever, you need to come forward, because we need to go ahead and hash it out. Because whatever you feeling about me, that you keep sending your dark energy towards me, and I could feel it, and I don't even know where you coming from with it, you got a problem. You know what I'm saying? I'm not no monster. You know what I mean? I know I ain't no model coming off of Vogue or whatever. And however I don't know what it is, but I know I gotta get it off of my back because I'm tired. I want to move forward. And it's just I don't know. But anyway, let's just go ahead. Let me just go ahead and thank you, spiritual beings. If anybody listened, thank you so much. If anybody's watching, I thank you. I'm just a woman here trying to think big and share my story and trying to be positive and trying to send love and light and talk about my shadow work. There's nothing demonic, dark, or nothing. There's no need for people to ash me or none of that. So take care of spiritual beings. That's it. Because that's all. I'm starting to feel the pain in my head again. I don't like pharmaceuticals, so I just took a little Tylenol and I was feeling a little bit better. But I just hopefully one day me and my daughter could get back to that connection again. And it's a long road ahead. I can feel it's a long road ahead. She really thinks I'm her enemy, and all I try to do is help this kid. A lot of times when I was putting her in the facility is, I don't know what's going on. Just like when my oldest, she was diagnosed with lupus, come to find out she has scleroderma. So I let my baby get chemotherapy and all this stuff because I didn't have the knowledge. She almost lost her leg. She got heart attacks and so as she's not my only child that I have problems or have problems. So Serenity, if you see this video, I do love you, but at this point you can't be here. You're almost 18. You gotta figure it out. You gotta love yourself more. And you gotta stop with this trauma to your body with different men and the spirits on your body. That's it, guys, because it seems like I'm gonna just keep on going. I'll talk to you guys later. Peace, love, and light, peaceful beings. Peace. Peace.